Academy. It's so good to see you again. My name is Moxie Zhao, and I'll be your anchor for PA News Season 4, Episode 3. Let's kick it off with Ario's segment, The Issue Is.
Hello, PA students and staff. Welcome to a new segment of the PA News broadcast where we talk about different issues going on in school. In this episode, we will be talking about the school lunch times. Some people feel it is too long or short, and some think that it is just about right. Hello, PA students and staff. Today I'm here with Mr. Rudy. Mr. Rudy, how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How you doing, Ariel?
I'm doing good. So, what is your overall view about the lunch times at PA? Do you think it's too long or is it too short, or do you think it's good?
If it was just eating, I would say it's just right. But the one issue I do have with is when I have clubs during lunch, it is very difficult to have a club and eat at the same time. So I would say having a little bit of an extended lunch would be better.
Approximately how long would you want lunch to be? Because I think it's about 35 to 40 minutes. So if you were to set like a approximate time, what time would it be? Like how long would you want this to be?
I think it's a little shorter than that. I'm looking at the schedule. I think it's really like 25 minutes and then a 5-minute passing period.
Yeah.
So I think 40 minutes would be, if you're, I think 40 minutes would be more appropriate because that gives plenty of time to eat, the passing periods to get settled. If students are meeting during lunch, it gives them time to like clean up their mess and get ready for class. So I think 40 minutes would be sweet spot.
Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Rudy. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm here with Miss Green to talk about the lunch times at PA. So, Miss Green, to start off, what is your overall view about the lunch times at PA? Do you think it's too long or is it too short?
I definitely feel like there are days when it feels short. It feels really, really fast. I
Yeah.
understand why maybe we wouldn't make it longer because it would mean the school day starting earlier or going a lot later. But there are days when it feels pretty fast.
Yeah. Approximately how long would you want lunch to be? Because it's about like 35 to 40 minutes. How long would you want it to be approximately?
I think most days, as you said, it's about 35 minutes. I think
Yeah.
45 minutes is a good amount of time because by the time you get your lunch, heat up your lunch, eat your lunch, it still gives you a little bit of time to socialize.
Yeah. Now, if you were like in, let's say, Mr. Corpus's position or Miss Kelly's position, what would you do about it? Would you, let's say, would you change the times? Would you maintain the status quo, or would you decrease the time of lunch at the school?
Hard to put myself in that position because I'm not admin and I respect their decisions. I definitely wouldn't decrease time because I think having some time outside of class is important socially, emotionally, mentally to have a little bit of a break from the school day.
Yeah.
I would consider lengthening it, but again, that would mean something else would have to go in order to make the school day still begin and end at about the same amount of time.
I very much agree. And with that being said, thank you very much, Ms. Green, for your time. We thank you very much. With Michael. Michael, how are you doing today?
Pretty good.
Oh, yeah, that's good to hear. So I wanted to ask you, what's your overall view about the lunch times at school?
Overall view, I think they're actually pretty good because generally I'm a pretty fast eater and I can like finish my food in like 15 or 20 minutes. So yeah, I just finish my food early and then I head to my next class early so I could do like work or stuff.
So do you think it's too long or too short, or do you think, as you said, it's right on point?
For me, it's pretty on point, but I don't know about other people. So
Approximately how long do you think lunch should be in terms of like the minutes?
wait, how long is it right now?
It's 35 to 40 minutes, I think.
35 to 40.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's about good.
Hmm.
Maybe sometimes I would prefer if it's like 45 minutes, if there's like a big meal, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much for your time, Michael.
You're welcome.
Well, that's all we have for today of this segment of the PA broadcast. We hope you enjoyed this episode and please stay tuned for more.
Club meeting during lunchtime is definitely a part of our Pacific Academy's unique culture. And I also agree with Ms. Green of extending lunchtime. Next up is my segment. Welcome to PA Holiday Feed. Hello, Pacific Academy. My name is Moxie Zhao, and I'll be your anchor this episode. As you know, we didn't have school this Monday. This is because of Martin Luther King Day, which is a federal holiday that occurs on the third Monday of every January. So each day's MLK Day would be on a different day. Many students just enjoyed this day as a normal day of school. But because of the comfortable life we live today, many of us has forgotten about the historical significance of holidays. Our government and history teacher, Mr. V, and Ms. Zhu are here to remind us of the importance of MLK Day. Hi, Mr. V.
Hi, Moxie.
What is the historical significance of Martin Luther King Day?
Well, there's a lot of historical significance. Martin Luther King Jr. is probably one of the most famous and important and impactful people in United States history, especially in modern United States history. We celebrate Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday and date because we want to remember how important Dr. King's contributions were to making America a better, fairer, nicer country, right? We want to remember not just Martin Luther King Jr., but all of the sacrifices that all of the brave civil rights activists and people who basically have had the goal to make America a more equal and a more fair place. I think hopefully we remember all of that on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, not just the work of Dr. King, which of course is probably the most well known.
What is the origin of MLK Day?
The origin, do you mean when the holiday began? I don't know. It's at what point in time after Dr. King's assassination we began memorializing and celebrating it as a national holiday. Obviously, the origin is in relation to the life of Dr. King, and as it is to explain his work as a civil rights activist after he was assassinated in the late 1960s. Of course, people wanted to remember Dr. King and all of his work.
So, hi, Ms. Drew.
Hi, Moxie.
What has changed from the time Martin Luther King was in comparison to today?
So Martin Luther King was active in the 1950s and 60s, and that was a time right after the Brown versus Board of Education Supreme Court case, which ended legal segregation and in schools. And even though that landmark Supreme Court case should have got rid of segregation, many people resisted it. And that led to an almost 2 decades long movement of African Americans and whites also participate in the movement to gain civil rights. So there's a huge difference in that while we still have racial inequalities, we have no more legal segregation, and African Americans are much more, and other races are much more integrated into mainstream society.
Why is it important to celebrate this historical event even today?
So today especially, it's important to celebrate the event, to recognize the struggles that took place in the civil rights movement, and the message of nonviolence that Martin Luther King Jr. preached and lived when he was surrounded by violence, and also to we're not quite done with the struggle for equality. So I think to recognize his commitment to nonviolence and to recognize his commitment to equality.
Thank you, Mr. V and Ms. Drew. The rights we have today are a constant reminder of what the people before us has fought for. They gave us the life we have today, but we have nothing to return to them. The least we can do is to remember what they did for us. Goodbye, PA, and see you next time.
Our PA culture and community appreciates many holidays, especially Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Now let's go to a bite of PA and see what Chris Hu is cooking up for us.
Hi, I'm Chris. Today I'm going to talk about shredded potato. Many Chinese people know the dish of shredded potato. Everyone's home has their own taste, but what I'm going to introduce today is the spicy shredded potato, which is crispy but not spicy, fragrant but not greasy. The lips and teeth are fragrant after eating. Let's take a look. First, remove the skin of potatoes. Then take out our special tool to help us cut the potatoes into strips. And then use a kitchen knife to cut the peppers and garlic into sections and finally chop them. When everything is ready, we start the important step. First, take out our wok. Pour oil on the wok when it is hot. Mince garlic and shredded pepper and fry until fragrant. And add shredded potatoes and stir fry after the fry is complete. After the frying is complete, take it out of the pot. So that a fragrant, spicy fried potato shred is complete. Delicious shredded potato are endless. Everyone has their own taste. If you have any special method, you can share with us together. Come and join us.
That food looks delicious, Chris. The chef has certainly outdone herself. Next segment is a special one. It's made for the special interest of the kids in our school. Welcome to PA2, brought to you by Li Chun and Oliver.
Hello everyone, today we will talk about a famous Steam game called Ark Survival Evolved. It is a 2017 action-adventure survival video game developed by Studio Wildcard. In the game, players must survive being stranded on an island filled with roaming dinosaurs and other prehistoric animals, nature hazards, and potentially hostile human players.
The game is played from either a third-person or first-person perspective, and its open world is navigated on foot or by riding a prehistorical animal. Players can use firearms and improvised weapons to defend against hostile humans and creatures, with the ability to build bases as defense on ground and on some creatures. Well, the game has both single player and multiple player options. Multiple player allows the option to form tribes of members in server. The max number of tribes mates varies from each server. In this mode, all teamed dinosaur and building structures are usually shared between the members.
Thank you for watching. I hope you all have a better understanding of Ark Survival Evolved and are interested in playing it.
Well, there we have it, folks. We heard and saw many interesting things presented in this broadcast. Don't forget that next Friday, we will have sharing day and a volunteering activity. AP students are not required to go. Furthermore, some of our students will go to Big Bear. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and please stay tuned for more to come. I'm Aryo Abazari, and this has been Season 4, Episode 3 of the PA News broadcast. Thank you.